Welcome back to the Deep Dive.
Great to be here.
Today, we're embarking on, well, an intriguing deep dive into a message titled Direct Connection with the God of All Possibilities. And this isn't just, a casual read. It's actually an outline of a powerful sermon. It was delivered by Pastor W.F. Kumuyi during a global crusade.
Okay.
And it takes us through a really profound, ancient story from the biblical book of Daniel.
Right, the Nebuchadnezzar story.
Exactly. So our mission today is to kind of unpack how this message addresses a fundamental human dilemma. How do we find solutions when, well, all conventional efforts just fall short?
And how do we get back what feels lost for good?
Precisely.
Yeah.
We're going to explore this framework with an analytical eye, looking at how the source constructs its arguments and the solutions it offers. Okay, let's unpack this.
Yeah, definitely. What we'll explore today is a specific perspective on human struggle and spiritual intervention. It's deeply rooted in that vivid biblical account you mentioned, Daniel and King Nebuchadnezzar's forgotten dream. But the message isn't just retelling history. It proposes a clear pathway, a journey, really.
A journey from what to what?
From what it calls frightful restlessness to full revelation, and then ultimately to a final reign over life's most daunting difficulties.
Frightful restlessness to final reign. Okay. And what's noteworthy here, I think, is how this particular message takes Daniel's specific historical challenge and sort of universalizes it.
How so?
It presents it as a blueprint for regaining strength, vision, joy, in any life situation where the usual solutions have failed. It offers a very distinct roadmap for those feeling completely stuck. That journey, restlessness to reign, it's certainly compelling. And the way the message frames the starting point, that's critical, isn't it?
Absolutely.
So our deep dive begins with this segment. The source titles, The Pain and Perplexity of Frightful Restlessness When Human Efforts Fail.
Okay.
The core narrative, it comes from Daniel chapter 2. Here's to picture King Nebuchadnezzar, second year of his reign, waking from a dream.
A really disturbing dream.
So disturbing, so terrifying, it just shattered his peace, his sleep. But here's the kicker, the crucial detail. The dream itself. It vanished from his memory.
Gone completely.
Yeah. So then he summons all his wise men, the magicians, astrologers, sorcerers, Chaldeans, and makes this impossible demand.
Impossible is the right word.
Not just the interpretation, but he wants them to tell him the dream he couldn't remember.
Wow.
And if they fail, the penalty is death. Can you just imagine that immense pressure, that fear hanging over all the kingdom's most learned people?
It's a truly vivid picture of extreme desperation, isn't it? The king's demand, as Daniel recounts, was straightforward, but just utterly beyond them.
He basically said, tell me the dream, then its meaning, or else.
Right. And what's fascinating here is how the source material uses this very moment to highlight what it presents as a profound human limitation.
What's a limitation?
Well, it explains that these magicians do not have a connection to heaven, and therefore they are powerless to help the king. And this isn't presented merely as, historical detail about those magicians.
It's broader than that.
Yeah, it's framed as a universal truth. It applies, according to the message, to individuals, or really any system, operating without what the message identifies as that specific divine connection.
And the message really drives this home, right? It doesn't just stick with Nebuchadnezzar. It draws parallels.
It does. Powerful ones. The source specifically references the woman with the issue of blood from Mark's gospel.
Right, 12 years.
12 years. She had suffered many things of many physicians, had spent all that she had, and was nothing bettered, but rather grew worse.
So that's used to illustrate that same escalating desperation.
Exactly. That increasing fright, the worsening condition, even after exhausting all the available human help, all the experts. Or there's another biblical reference cited in the source, 2 Kings 6.27, which powerfully states, "If the Lord do not help thee, whence shall I help thee?"
So both the king and the woman felt that helplessness.
Because, as the message emphasizes, none could help him or her. The teaching strongly underlines this idea that man cannot solve his problems alone.
Mentions Jeremiah too, doesn't it? About the leopard spots.
That's right. Jeremiah 13.23. Can the Ethiopian change his skin or the leopard his spots? Then may ye also do good that are accustomed to do evil.
And how does the message use that?
It leverages that proverb as an analogy. It argues that certain fundamental aspects of human nature or certain deep-seated problems are just beyond our own capacity for self-correction.
Aren't changing spots.
Precisely. It's a way of saying some profound difficulties, some challenges are presented by this message as basically insoluble through purely human means.
Okay, so let me try and synthesize this first part. The deep dive suggests that when all the conventional human avenues are exhausted,
Right.
when your personal vision, your passion, dreams, even physical strength or health feel just lost, gone.
And the experts can't help.
Yeah, and all the available experts offer no real, lasting help. That's the exact moment, according to this message, when you realize there's a critical need for something, well, something far beyond human capability.
Mm-hmm. It establishes a profound premise, recognizing our own limits.
That our inherent resources, our usual solutions, are ultimately limited when facing certain kinds of problems, which perfectly sets the stage for a different kind of intervention.
Exactly.
Which brings us neatly to the second pillar of this message. It's titled, The Prayer and Perception of Full Revelation, Tapping into Divine Solutions.
Okay, so moving from the problem to the solution.
Yes. Having established the failure of human effort, the message then pivots, quite dramatically, to Daniel's unique approach.
He didn't rely on the same methods as the others?
No, he didn't claim any special inherent powers. Instead, the source highlights that Daniel had conviction in the Lord, confidence, compassion for the magicians.
Compassion even for those who failed.
Right, and companions that he could rally together to pray. This shift from human wisdom to actively seeking something spiritual, that's presented as the turning point.
The crucial difference.
And here's where it gets really interesting. Daniel and his friends, they didn't just, hope for the best. They actively prayed for mercies of the God of heaven concerning this secret. That's from Daniel 2.
A specific request for divine help.
Yes. And the immediate result, the message states, was, Then was the secret revealed unto Daniel in a night vision.
Wow. So the very thing that stumped everyone else.
The thing that evaded all other human efforts, all human wisdom, was, according to the source, just directly given to him.
And this full revelation, as the source calls it, that's presented as the core principle, right? For accessing solutions beyond our reach.
That seems to be the idea.
The source emphasizes that God is depicted here as having all power to solve all your problems. It draws a direct line to Luke 18.27, stating clearly, the things which are impossible with men are possible with God.
That's not just about forgotten dreams.
No, not at all. The message broadens its scope considerably. It suggests this principle applies just as much to, say, bad, evil habits that are destroying your life and progress.
Things people struggle with deeply.
Exactly, or anything you might feel you've lost in the past. It's positioned as a comprehensive promise for basically any seemingly intractable issue.
So the message isn't just about getting information, like Daniel did with the dream. It's about the promise of actual, tangible solutions for these really personal, seemingly impossible life problems, all through this direct connection.
Precisely that. It's presented as a direct promise of answered prayer and a pathway to insight to solutions.
It quotes Jeremiah, doesn't it? Call unto me.
Yes, Jeremiah 33.3 and 6. Call unto me, and I will answer thee, and show thee great and mighty things which thou knowest not.
Great and mighty things.
This expands on the idea of revelation. It suggests that through what it identifies as God's Spirit, truths and solutions way beyond human comprehension can be revealed.
Things we wouldn't even think of.
Exactly. Things that eye have not seen nor ear heard, neither have entered into the heart of man, quoting 1 Corinthians.
Okay.
And this revelation, the message claims, brings tangible results. Healing, deliverance, solutions to problems that were previously just beyond understanding or fixing by human means.
Right.
So if we connect this to the bigger picture, it means that even when everyone else, all other avenues, are saying something is absolutely impossible.
Hopeless.
Yeah, hopeless. The message claims that calling on this divine power can actually solve those problems and restore what was lost. It frames this as a proactive, accessible solution for individuals facing overwhelming challenges.
That's a really powerful framework for anyone feeling stuck. It offers a very specific path to hope. So the deep dive presents this as a direct invitation then to regain lost strength, confidence, joy.
All of those things.
And to see all your perplexities and impossibilities turning around. It speaks to the possibility of recovering everything that makes up your well-being, your happiness in life.
Suggesting these turnarounds aren't just, wishful thinking, but a direct outcome of making this spiritual connection.
Okay. Now, that leads us to well, the powerful culmination of this message. Part 3 is titled The Prince of Peace and His Final Reign. Triumph over all challenges.
The reign part of the journey.
Exactly. So after Daniel successfully received and revealed Nebuchadnezzar's forgotten dream and its meaning, he talked about that grand statue.
Representing earthly kingdoms.
Yes, a succession of powerful empires, Babylonian, Medo-Persian, Grecian, Roman. But the message highlights Daniel's revelation that this entire structure of human power would ultimately be smashed.
By what?
By a stone coming from heaven.
Okay.
And this stone, the message interprets it as Christ, presented as the ultimate cornerstone that will crush every other power.
So moving from the historical interpretation to a spiritual one.
Right, and then bringing it to a personal level. The framework claims that this same Christ will reign over every challenge and problem of your life.
So the scope of this proposed solution expands dramatically here. It moves beyond just individual revelation, like getting the dream back, to a concept of ultimate comprehensive victory.
Total victory.
Yeah. The source elaborates on what kingdoms Christ is said to conquer. It vividly lists things like kingdoms of darkness, diseases, confusion.
Okay, it's quite specific.
Very. Stamped on all and brought everyone down, demons that ravaged every life, kept everyone in suppression and oppression, and that of death and destruction.
So these are defined within the message as the adversaries that this divine power is said to overcome.
Precisely. And to visualize the impact of this triumph, it references Daniel 2 again, verses 34-35, describing how the stone that smote the image became a great mountain and filled the whole earth.
The whole earth.
And the message interprets this as meaning all those works of the devil in your life, the wind will carry all away.
So asserting that no place will be left for the devil, demons, disease, and death in your life once this connection is made.
That's the assertion. It's presented as a complete and enduring overthrow of these negative influences. A permanent shift, not just a temporary fix.
A permanent shift. Wow. So it's not just limited intervention.
No. The promise of Christ's everlasting kingdom is central to this idea of a final reign. It cites Daniel 2.4445, stating that God shall set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed, and it shall stand forever.
Never be destroyed.
Which means the healing, deliverance, salvation, dominion received, they're presented as permanent, something that will never be destroyed.
Okay.
Furthermore, it quotes Matthew 28.18, all power is given unto me in heaven and in earth.
All power.
Signifying, according to the message, that evil power will not operate in your life again as you connect with Christ. And this raises an important question for us to consider when looking at this message.
Which is?
What does it mean for your outlook on life when a power is presented as being able to literally crush every other power and remove every work of what the source calls the devil?
That's a profound claim.
It is. The message reinforces this with Psalm 145, talking about God's everlasting kingdom, upholding the fallen's satisfying desires, saving those who call.
And Ephesians.
And Ephesians 2 is used to describe believers as being raised up together in heavenly places in Christ Jesus by grace through faith. It underscores this triumphant, enduring state.
So the ultimate outcome, as the deep dive concludes here, is presented as total triumph. The message promises healing, deliverance, salvation, and dominion, permanent ones leading to being totally free.
And even having premature death scatter through Christ.
It's a comprehensive vision, isn't it? Being raised up above the kingdom of darkness, disease, defilement, demons, and death, all through what the message identifies as grace and faith.
That's the picture it paints.
Okay. Finally, the message culminates in something Pastor Ǩēnwī terms a call to a decision.
A very direct conclusion.
Very direct. This part of the source material is explicit about its purpose and application. It states clearly that this message, which it attributes to the Lord through the pastor, aims to guide unbelievers to recognize Jesus Christ as the sole path to escape eternal judgment.
And it defines what that means within its own framework.
Yes, referring to the ultimate spiritual consequence for those who don't accept Jesus Christ, according to this specific Christian theology. But it's not just for non-believers, right?
No, not exclusively. The message also proposes to provide believers with guidance for victory in life and ministry.
So practical guidance, too.
Yes, and it extends that practical application. For young people, it suggests principles of success in academics and careers.
Okay.
And for ministers, guidance to be role models embodying spiritual fruits and gifts.
And it even includes a prayer.
It does. It provides a simple prayer of faith for your salvation and forgiveness of sin. It includes steps like acknowledging sins, recognizing Jesus' sacrifice, repenting, putting faith in it.
So the overall message in this final section is really about finding that salvation, healing, and deliverance through this connection with Christ.
Exactly. It's presented as a clear, prescriptive pathway for action, building directly on all the preceding arguments about limitation, revelation, and reign.
Right. So we've covered a lot today. We've explored this powerful message that unflinchingly confronts what it sees as fundamental human limitations
Then points to divine revelation as the ultimate solution.
and promises triumph over life's toughest challenges, all interpreted through the lens of Nebuchadnezzar's forgotten dream and Daniel's faith. The core concept here, argued strongly by the source, is that a direct connection with the God of all possibilities is presented as the key.
The key to recovering what's lost and overcoming the impossible.
So what does this all mean when we consider it as a complete framework presented in this message?
Well, as you reflect on this deep dive, it's interesting to consider that profound human desire we all have, for solutions beyond our grasp, and the enduring nature of stories that offer hope, that offer a sense of ultimate power to address those deep desires. What does it mean for you when a message presents such comprehensive solutions?
Promising to touch every challenge and problem of your life.
Right, and proposes such a direct path to achieve that. This message suggests that even when you feel utterly powerless, completely stuck.
Like the king or the woman?
Exactly. The possibility of regaining vision, passion, new life, dreams, missions, strength, and all that you have lost is, as the source frames it, just a direct connection away.
So the final thought might be,
What aspects of this message's framework, this comprehensive approach to problem solving, might resonate with or perhaps challenge your own experiences when you've sought help for the impossible problems in life?